out with me for a bit today. I'm really excited. I've never had a UK call before, I think. Never.
And you've got people from pretty much all over the UK. We've got Ireland in the house. We've got England in the house. I think we've got some Welsh people as well somewhere.
Scotland and
we've
Wales
even got Jersey.
And we're just so super delighted to welcome you on this Team Livewright call. Thank you so much for just taking some time aside to speak to us, because we are pumped for your workout.
Yes. What time is it there today?
It is 1 minute past 7 at night.
Okay.
What time is it there?
2 p.m.
Oh,
2 p.m. Yeah.
We're all going to our bed soon.
No, but I'm really, really excited to get to know you guys a little bit, and for you guys to get to know me and to talk about this special program that I'm just so excited about. So again, thank you everyone for hanging out with me today.
Listen, thank you so much. And I know we've got Jeff in as well. I think he wants to say a couple of words, because he has got, his words are few, but they are very strategically placed.
Poignant and wise.
They are. And if he doesn't come off as unmute, then you're going to speak.
I will speak if Jeff doesn't.
Because we'll need to give her the proper introduction.
Is he there?
He's not.
He's not.
No.
Nope. He is there, but he's not there.
But that's fine.
Okay. Anyway, so Jeff, I was going to be there, but yeah, we're super excited to welcome you into the UK, and like you say, that's your first call for the UK. So it's great to have you, and we're honoured to have you in as a guest. And the team's just been rallying behind us and looking forward to this program. And I think it's so unique. It's something that's not been done before. And I think just with everything that's going on just now, and people are getting kept inside and not able to go out, I think that opportunity to just get out and sort of connect with wildlife, and even if you're on a treadmill, like the visuals and stuff, it's just unbelievable. So we're super excited to welcome you. And I think to start off with, I remember when I was putting together the group and putting our stuff in there, I'd read quite a few things in different pages about your story, and it was just so inspiring. So I would love for you to tell us just a little bit about your story and your background.
Yeah, so Beachbody created a video that obviously it's a little bit about my story, but it definitely created a lot of curiosity, because I was not always as public about the things that I went through with my health, but it's actually the reason why I ended up becoming a trainer. So in my case, a little bit about me, I grew up in Puerto Rico, and I was born and raised there. I was raised by my dad, so I was always into sports. I was still this day, I'm still the ultimate tomboy. The only thing is now I know how to do my hair and makeup. That's it. But inside, you're gonna see me always in my daughters playing and just doing boyish things that I love. So I was a track and field athlete. God blessed me with that talent. So I was very lucky that I got to. Since the time I was 13, I was the #1 in the island. And when it comes to my events, I went to a school that you live in that school from ages 12 to 18, and it specializes in developing athletes. So you live there from Sunday to Friday. And in that school, I got to try all different sports, like fencing, tennis, everything that you can imagine that competes in the Olympics, I got to experience there. But I always ended up being drawn by track and field, which still this day is still my big passion. So I competed internationally and at college until I was about 24 years old, and I was sidelined by injury. I had a car accident when I was in college. I was driving fine, it wasn't my fault, but it was a big car accident, and I remember being injured pretty bad in the neck. But when you leave my island, we're not the best when it comes to medical, so they never did an MRI or anything, and I was kind of tough, so I'm okay, and I was started training 2 weeks after that. So I started having a lot of problems after that. And then through the process of getting injuries, they saw that my spinal cord was starting to be pressed by the disc. So when I was 24, I already had a kid, I already was married. But I was at the peak of how I was feeling. I was told that I couldn't run anymore, that I couldn't lift weights, and I couldn't do anything that I was doing. And I make a living out of being an athlete. That's all I knew how to do, was my life. So then I was a stay-at-home mom for a bit. We decided to have our second daughter when I was 27. And during that pregnancy, that's the part that was also talking in the Beachbody video, that's the reason why I became a trainer. I had and there's no pretty way to say this, but I had a bleeding in the brain. So that caused for me to get weaker, to be in hospitals, to my whole life and my family was just like, it was very challenging because I wasn't the same person anymore when it comes to being able to take care of my daughters mentally, physically. I became really weak and I became really, my mindset was also very, very negative. I was living in fear. I didn't trust my body by any means. I was just like, it was not pretty. I was also very bad with my nutrition. I never liked vegetables. Till this day, I don't like vegetables. Now I eat them because I know they're good for us, but it's just, I was raised different. Like I used to eat anything and more. So people assume that I've always been skinny. That's not true. Like at some point in one of my pregnancies, I was almost 190 pounds. It was like 180, and I started at 113. So it's not like I got away with it. The only thing was like I used to be very active, but it manifested in other areas like stomach problems and other health complications like the ones that I'm talking about. So through that process, I just got fed up with doctor's appointment, being in the hospital, and I decided to take action. And for me, it became to, okay, what can I do? I was just not getting answers. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to start eating vegetables. I'm going to start getting educated about nutrition. I started adding movement in different ways. I actually did P90X, but only the lower body and a little bit of the core in the yoga because it was what my body, allows me to do. And then I started reading a lot of books, following coaches from all around the world that develop athletes that go to the Olympic. And I was just learning about anatomy, how the body works. So I became certified and I just literally started applying everything. And then I was able to run again, not like I used to. I started lifting weights and I became like stronger. And that's how I started to be a trainer. And I started at the beginning, I was just doing it for free because I couldn't. When you go through something like that, and then when you meet women who needs it, it's really hard to charge them money. You're like, no, you need to know, like, I just want to help you. But then obviously it was not a good business model. So a few months in, my husband was like, what's going on? Like you're working, but you're not bringing money. And then, sorry. And then I started like developing another business. And then I started working with other magazines, Women's Health, which is a American magazine. They were in the search for like trainers. And I was selected as one of the top 5 in the United States because of my credentials and everything. And then I got to create a program with them. I became a fitness advisor for Men's Health, GQ, and other great publications. And that's how Beachbody found me. I'm sorry, I'm like, it hasn't happened before. I don't know what, like, it's like itching my throat. Sorry. But anyways, so, and then Beachbody was under search for a Latina trainer to grow the Latin market and create an all-in-Spanish program, in which it was Mes de Más, a month of more. And so by the time that they were on the search, I was kind of like the most qualified in the United States, and they were also wanting someone who was bilingual. So they emailed me, I got on a call, but I already, since I filmed my first program with Women's Health, I knew I wanted to work with Beachbody. I'm like, I want to be the first Latina to work with them. Like I knew like I wanted to do at-home fitness. So I was more than ready. And then in the process of me signing the contract, I discovered I was pregnant again. I'm like, oh no, they're going to fire me. They're going to fire me. This is not good. But they were amazing. And that's why I love Beachbody so much, because they believe in me. And I'm like, we sped everything up. So I actually got to do Mes de Más while I was expecting. So we were like hiding the pregnancy. I was in the weeks 14, 15, and 16. And it's still like, it's been a great tool for Latino coaches. It still sells the #1 tool for all of them. And it's been amazing. And then after my postpartum, I was telling Car, hey, I'm ready to go to work. I want to do something new. And then in the process, we first started talking about a strength training program. That's why my specialty. But he was like, oh, but Beachbody needs something else. Like everybody's just doing the same. Like, we're just different trainers, but everything is resistance training. Let's do something that we've never done before. And that's when we look at my background and my work, we decided to do a strength training and walking and running program. And this is how 30-day Breakaway started. And I think I talked way too much about my life, but I just wanted you guys to get an idea because a lot of people don't know that. And then, yes, and filming this program was full of challenging, but like COVID as well, we first started filming, then we had to stop, then we needed to change everything, how we were doing it. But It was such an adventure. We got to do everything in both languages. And it was just like, it's been amazing. And in the process of me creating the program, trying all the workouts and seeing, I've never been so in love and so proud of making something this amazing. So the program, one thing that I told Carl, okay, we need to have videos for treadmills, we need to have audio. So we were able, like I was able to do it exactly the way I wanted to, and introduce sustainable and time efficient running to Beachbody. And this is exactly what the program is done. We spend 60% of the time strength training. I'm always going to prioritize that. It's super important. And then we run and walk some intervals. The workouts are 18 to 24 minutes, the running ones. And it's just been amazing to see the test group, the results. It happened that the programming was so efficient that we got people who never ran before or haven't run in years were able to run everyone a 5K in 30 days. And that's why we started promising, oh, you can run a 5K, because more than 1,000 people by now, more than 1,100 by now, have been able to do that in 30 days. And then people who were advanced runners, they've been able to get stronger and to PR in their mile, in the 5K. So it's been pretty cool. And I'm just so excited that you guys very soon are gonna get to try a little bit. And I'm gonna shut up now and leave you guys to talk.
Oh no, thank you so much for sharing your story. I think it really helps us to connect us with you, and to know a bit about the background, because obviously people have got their fears and their worries about what they can't do, and you obviously went through like a lot to be able to get to the stage where you're training hundreds of thousands of people. So I think it's important for us to know that even you being with what you do, you got round it, and you got to into the obviously the incredible shape that you're in just now, being able to help other people. So it is important, I think, that I think we all appreciate that. And I know the guys will put some questions into the little chat box, but really for people, because we've got some people in here that some of them are coaches, we've got some of them who are just really interested in perhaps maybe doing it. Would you be able to explain just in your own words what this program is, and why they should do it?
So this program, how I see it, and in all honesty, to me, it's like the ultimate like strength and conditioning that obviously utilizes running too. So we lift first weights, and then, but that's how I prefer. But there's people who are gonna do the running first and then the lifting. It is a very versatile program that is designed obviously to increase your running capacities, that teach people how to. Oh my God, they're doing my. I'm so sorry. They're doing my lawn. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I apologize. No, okay. And to not only help. This is like the worst. Sorry. And to not only help people like with the body composition goals, since when it comes to combining these two has been proven to be the most effective for fat loss, of body composition changes, for weight loss. People in the test group, we have 3 or 4 people who were able to lose 15 pounds in 30 days while being flexible with the nutrition. That's another thing about the program. It's going to allow people to be more flexible because you're just burning more calories and you need to train for performance and recovery. So yes, and then it's designed to help people, teach you how to run properly. It's interval-based run. So regardless you are a new runner or in advance, you're gonna get a lot of benefits when it comes to increasing your stamina, increasing your cardio, your VO2 max, also all the fat loss gain. But when it comes to the strength training, it is very comprehensive. We spend time in mobility. We do a lot of glute activation and core activation exercises to make sure that people are really running properly, pain-free. And those of you, for some reason, you have low back pain, knee pain, you get the benefits of strengthening the muscles and stability, and increasing the stability to help you be your best when it comes to running and even lifting. The program is divided by, we have a lower body, we have a full body, upper body, a core, and a metabolic routine. So you're gonna do those every week. And then we also have a indoor body weight HIIT style workout that is designed for whenever people cannot make it outside to run. Ideally, no more than twice a week, then you can substitute that, and that can be your cardio. That one is 27 minutes, and people in the test group have been, I don't want to do that, I'd rather go run because apparently it's hard. So they're making jokes like, I don't care if it's snowing, I don't care if it's a storm, I'm going to run instead of doing it. But it's just it's not as hard, but it's very fun and versatile. The whole program, it really is about what you can do. That's always been my motto as a trainer and for me going through things. So whether I'm teaching an exercise that might be a little hard, whether you can do 5 reps, or whether you can do 15, it doesn't matter. Like, people have gotten stronger. Everybody has completed the 5K. We have gotten people who were non-runners or hated running, which apparently was almost everybody in the test group. Nobody wanted to be in the test group. I'm like, what's going on, Beachbody? I know that I'm the new trainer, but like, be excited. But no one, like, I think like the runners, they were excited, but they were like 1 or 2% of the people in the test group. And then they since day one, it was very emotive. Everybody was like, oh my gosh, I was able to run a mile. I was able to do this. I thought I was not able to do it. So it's filled with non-skill victories that have been so uplifting and empowering. And I feel like it's so needed nowadays. And then obviously people are getting outdoors. Like you guys were saying at the beginning, family were coming together. There were husbands who never did other programs, and they were starting to go and do the program with the wives. So I got so many testimonials about, oh my God, my husband never wanted to do any of the programs. Now he's going running with me. Now I'm taking the kids to the track. And my husband started walking and jogging, and my kids are playing football and soccer. So it's been like really, really nice seeing moms with the strollers, seeing moms with older kids, and the kids riding the bicycles. So overall, it's more like a family affair. It's a very empowering and results driven, because Beachbody hasn't started to share the test group transformations, but they are like ridiculous, like the before and afters in just 30 days. But I think the best part is seeing people appreciate their body and being able to turn their I can't, there's no way I'm going to do that, until I did it. And that is just so beautiful.
Oh wow! Like, we're getting some great messages in here. Everybody's excited.
And I just wanted to pick up. So like, we've had a few people who've got like niggles and injuries and things like that. And I know in the program that you've spent an awful lot of time looking at functional training within it, and like stability and balance, and like using a lot of transverse plane stuff. So can you tell me a little bit about how you've planned the program around to sort of help with that injury prevention, and like people who maybe have little niggles and things going on?
Yeah. So the root of most, like when it comes to low back pain, hip pain, and knee pain, is weaker glutes. And that's something that I have to learn the hard way. So the program, we do a lot of glute exercises and glute activation, so that whether you're doing squats and lunges, you actually fire them up, because most of you spend most of the day seated, so your hip flexors get shortened. And there's a lot of muscle imbalances. So we do not only exercises to strengthen that, we also gonna do a lot of flexibility work that you guys have never done before. So when it comes to knee pains, we're going to be strengthening and stretching the inner, the outer thighs, which is one of the reasons when they're really tight or weak, a lot of people feel pain in their knees. We do a lot of exercises for the hamstrings. And then when it comes to the core, we do a lot of core exercises. Now, what is different about this program with strength training? I'm very big on the cueing, and because of someone who has like low back pains and neck pains, I understand how the body works. So you're going to be one of the things that I get in the test, because oh my God, like I've never felt this exercise before. Now I know how to do it properly. So not only how to do it properly, but we're going to be lifting heavier. We're going to do different tempos. We're going to do a lot of single leg work, which is often neglected in a lot of at-home workouts or fitness, because it's like when it comes to doing less but being effective, single leg work is just so important to make you a better runner, to help you with stability, and help you just increase your overall performance, whether you just want to get stronger or lift. And then all the workouts complement itself. So one day you do a full full body workout. Another day you have a metabolic one, but the other days just core focus. The lower body, which is my favorite day, those are a little bit longer. So overall, there's a lot of tools for everyone. Plus, we have 1 or 2 days a week that all we do is foam rolling and mobility work. And in that workout, we do ankle strengthening exercises. So it's very different than other things. And it teaches you guys how to properly do the exercises, how to properly increase your mobility. And that's another thing that I've got. Even though, and it's so funny because I have very little flexibility, but there has been elite coaches that have done a lot, that's been there and done a lot of stuff already. So like, I've never had so much flexibility in my life, but I honestly think it's because of the mobility sequences that we're doing. And it's just all about the cueing. It's just like, you'll be surprised how just knowing how to do the pelvic tilt, even if you're doing upper body exercises, it's just already going to help you get better. Your core is going to protect your lower back. So the program is just very, very comprehensive, and I can just keep talking and talking, but that sums it up.
No, we love it. We love the prehab rather than the
Yeah,
rehab.
we do a lot of prehab, and it's true. And I have to do it. I'm still like, it's not like my neck magically healed. No, like I need to, for me, was a process that I really had to learn how to strengthen my body so that I could to support. So I run now, but I don't run 5 days a week. I'm also very smart about my training, but I do these workouts that are like short. I do them 2-3 times a week at the most. So everyone is different. We also have 3 different calendar options. So it's gonna be appeal to any lifestyle and any goals. Let's say someone who's a beginner, or has a packed life, and you only have 25 to 30 minutes a day. You're gonna be doing that calendar, and then one day you do the lifting, another day you do the running. So it's going to be on non-consecutive days. And then we have the basic calendar, the one that most of the people have done in the test group, and that one you exercise 5 times a week, 30 to 45 minutes a day, some days 50 minutes if people take, like I'm one of those, like after I do the lifting, I'm like, go to La La Land and find my shoes. Like if you're not super organized, it might take you a little bit more, but everything's gonna be like, if you're sharp, 50 minutes at the most. And then people can also split them. We have people who do one part in the morning, like maybe they do the running because that's the only time, if you have small children, that your husband can take care of the kids, or you don't want to run with your kids, and then they do the other part later. So it's very versatile. And then we have the advanced calendar, and that's for those people who actually like to run 5 times a week, which is very, not everyone, but very avid runners. And they want to add those interval of works of training, and they want to commit to 5 times a week, 6, including the mobility and the prehab exercises. So that's pretty much how it goes. And then with that in mind, one of the things, we have audios for people to go outdoors, and then we have the video options for people who have treadmill. One question that I've gotten, can we do these ones on the cycling bike or in the elliptical? And the answer is yes, obviously, but this is the trick, and this is important that you guys remember. They're not going to do the videos. They're going to be doing the audio portion without the audio, because we're going to have a feature that is going to be for the hearing impaired. So the audios are still going to be a video, and they're going to tell you the intervals, the RPE, and the efforts that you need to do, so people can get to still utilize these amazing and versatile, like cardio interval-based workouts, and they can do it, you know, whenever they cannot go outside, they can do it on the cycling bike, doing the intervals or the elliptical. So that's another tool that I think is super, super, super cool. And then people, cold weather, same thing applies. Obviously, get the appropriate clothes. There's people who run and they actually love it. Like I'm getting messages for people. I'm like, I don't know what people are complaining. Obviously, they're already avid runners, which, you know, not everybody's going to be at first. Running in the snow is my favorite. It feels amazing. I cannot relate to that because I've seen snow like 3 times in my life, and I don't do well in the snow. Even, I don't know, but there are people who love it. So we have a video that I did a few days ago that they're going to give it to coaches with some more about the outfits, about shoes, the socks, like taking in consideration the wind, adding maybe 10 to 20 degrees depending on the wind factor. So just like all these tips, but then at the end of the day, in the worst scenarios, you guys can just do what you guys are doing now, focusing on the strength training portion that still have some cardio, and then we have some metabolic workouts. So you will make this program whatever you want. If you want to get the medal and have that amazing community and surprise yourself running a 5K, then you follow, you know, you do at least running 2 to 3 times a week. And that with that alone, you'll be super ready to do the 5K.
Brilliant, amazing. Thank you for that. Like you mentioned RPE there, and I think that's like a massive part of the program. Can you tell us a little bit more about what that is and how it works?
Yeah, so the RPE is the rate. Oh my God, and it took me so long to say this word because my English. I don't know if I nailed it yet, but it's so every time I say it, I'm nervous. Okay, so it is it's a rate of perceived exertion. I don't know if I so it is a scale. the program, we use a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being like, not, you're just relaxed, like non-effort. 10 being your max effort. People think that's always a speed. It's not always a speed. Like I said, it's an individual effort that is going to feel different every day, depending on how you feel, depending on how you rest. So the workouts vary from 5 to 6 RPE. If it's like a steady pace that is comfortable, but you feel a little bit uncomfortable, we do some hit runs that are like that you're always going to walk the recoveries, and then we do a little more speed, 30 seconds to a minute, and then you have higher RPEs of 8 to 9. But that's going to look different for everybody else. It is your individual effort, and that is why the program works for whether you're a beginner or whether you're in advanced. For maybe somebody who's been advanced, that's always going to look like almost a sprint for 60 to 90 seconds. For someone who's a beginner, it might be a jog for 90 seconds. So it is very individual, and it's all about what you can do. Beginners, if you're a beginner, I want everyone, forget about those numbers, just start jogging those intervals and always walk the recovery. So start introducing running slow and sustainable, focus on what you can do, and just celebrate the fact that you're doing something that you maybe already discarded and you cannot do. So the program is meant to be empowering and to teach you how to do it efficient, because a lot of people who do not like running is basic, but most people do it wrong. Even athletes, like as a track and field athlete, I spent decades like trying to perfect, and I never was able to perfect my technique. Like, but there are certain cues, a certain postures, a certain breathing cues that are going to help people run more efficient, and that you feel better, that you're not dying all the time or getting those little cramps that people get, that they're kind of normal at the beginning, but it's because people are breathing. We're so used to breathing like by nature that when we run, it's a different kind of breathing that we're not used to. We're used to breathe shallow and like without putting a lot of effort. So that's why it feels a little hard. So people are going to be learning all those things. And then whether you can do, let's say that I'm asking for an interval of 60 seconds, whether you can do 10 or 20 seconds, that's amazing. Like I promise you, as you continue to put in the work, showing up, by the end of the program, because I already seen it. Like if I had any doubt after the first test group, after the second one, I was blown away. And in fact, we have a round of 2 now with the Beachbody, and voluntarily, they first Beachbody was not going to do it again because they wanted, there's all the programs that people wanted to keep doing. And they literally got a hold of the boss. No, we want to do another round. And the first test group, it was more than 950 something people. The second, voluntarily, I was like, what? Those same people that didn't want it to run, more than 500 are doing it again. And that's just amazing. And they were the people who at the beginning probably could not jog for 2 minutes, or they were celebrating if they did. And then day 30, they did the 5K, and now they're doing the second round. And they're like, oh my gosh, now I feel so amazing. I feel more confident. And they're just I'm like amazed by it.
Wow, I'm so excited. We've not got long. Someone asked, it's the 5th that comes out. Of course, if you're not counting it down on your calendar, we are.
Yeah, the only thing that I always feel bad is like, when people start doing something for the first time, like when you guys started exercise that you get sore, sadly that does happen with Ron. So just remember, like it's a process, your body's going to get used to it, but that's why we're always going to we have an individual warm up, we have an individual cool down for people to make sure that you do those stretches as well. And then hydration and is that your cat?
Did you see that?
Oh my God, hi.
She heard your voice and just came running.
So it's very important, like the hydration to take for this program in the test group. A lot of people, they were not as faithful at the beginning into the Beachbody Recover. And then they're like, oh, it makes a difference. You need those BCAAs. You need to make sure that you're adding the extra protein to recover so you're not sore. And then also, you might need to eat a little bit more. Everybody was getting hungrier, and that's okay. Like that's literally how I preach all the time, like food freedom, flexibility under following the basic rules, whether you're doing Ultimate Portion Fix or To Be Mindset. People ask me which program from those is the best. Nutrition is so individual, and what works for me is not going to work for you. So I always recommend coaches, which one is the one that align more with your lifestyle, with the things that that you're going to be able to follow without feeling like it's too restrictive, and you're actually connecting with your body. That's the one that I would recommend. Autumn went and spoke to the coaches because people were getting hungrier. So if the people who were following the basic and the advanced, they had to opt to the intense, like so they were eating more. Everybody else, they just stayed with the normal of whatever they were following.
I love it, and I'm so glad that you mentioned that just the DOMs at the end there. It's definitely something that we're going to need recovery for, for sure. But
So
we were we know we're only got you for half an hour, so we just wanted to sort of.
I don't have a call. Like, I want to make sure that I answer all the questions. My other ones are later at night, so I want to make sure that because there's a lot of things. Okay, somebody asked the equipment. You need light, medium, heavy weights. And by heavy weights, I mean heavy weights. Like, I am one of those trainers. Like, if I was swimming with 30 pounds, I expect you guys to do that or more. So you have to push yourself because the workouts are short. But and then the reason why, see, if you want to get the best body composition, people ask me, why do we lift first? This is why. When we build, when you're lifting heavier, your body has to burn through all the glycogen in the muscle. So, which is all the carbs, which is carbs are always the first source of energy when it comes to, like, when you're exercising. So by the time we're spending 22 to 28 minutes on the strength training portion. So by the time we are already, you're lifting heavy, your body has gone through that, and then your body's in the perfect state for fat loss. So your body has to start using, when you do the running part, the stored fat that you have in your body. And that's one of the reasons why people are getting the transformation that they're getting in 30 days, because it's really, really the science, the data, and that's why I chose it. Now, if you are an advanced runner who your main goal is to do marathons and just half marathons, and your main goal is to continue increasing your running capacities, then go ahead and do the running part first. You want to spend most of your energy doing that, and then you can do the strength training. But it's very important that you do not neglect the strength training. People ask me, how do if I already run more miles and these workouts are short, how can I complement this if I am an advanced runner? What I would advise is that you follow the basic calendar, and then you have the other 2 days a week and you do your long miles. Another thing that people in the test group are doing, they are running 5 to 10 minutes prior, 5 to 10 minutes after. So then you get longer workouts, but the work, which is the interval base, is still the same. Other people do 1 mile prior or 1 mile before. So there's a lot of ways that you can utilize this. And I think, any other question? I want to make sure that I cover everything. I don't want you guys to have any doubts whatsoever. And you guys are asking a lot of questions.
There were some other ones in there.
I'm just mesmerized.
There was one just about, like, if you're maybe a little bit curvier and you're just getting started. So, like, what would you recommend?
So this is great news. One of the things that I actually love about running, and even the people in the test group, we have so many plus size women and men that have been able to conquer the 30-day breakaway. And I love it. In fact, in the first test group, there was someone who still have, like, I would say, like 80 to 85 pounds to lose, or maybe more. They still were able to run the 5K. And she was the person who were waiting. No, we can promise people were able to do it. So if I would, what I would advise for you, have the best running shoes that are perfect for you, that can take some trial and error. People, whether you have fat fleet or more of like a little, or the opposite, make sure that you get your inserts so that you feel better. And then again, just focus on what you can do. Even if you just walk most of the intervals and you jog, you're still like shocking your body. You're still doing something so out of the norm that you're gonna get great results. And when it comes to increasing your VO2, your cardio capacities, you are gonna be able to do that. There's people who, for some reason, they cannot run. We have 2 bonus walking routines, and then also, I highly encourage you guys, people underestimate the power of walking. We don't walk enough nowadays. So do your strength training and then go outside and go for the walk. You're still like adding movement. And then if you do the speed changes that I'm asking in the audios, you're going to burn calories. Your heart rate is going to get up. So walking is still a great tool. But for all of you who are beginners, the walking and running method, which is what I always suggest, I'm always going to say, if you're a beginner, you can walk it up now. The recoveries, intermediate or advanced, go ahead and take it into a light jog. So that is the only difference. Like this is very about what you can do, and you're gonna be surprised. And I just love seeing people who think they cannot do it, because by the middle of the program they're like, oh my god, they're just always like crying. You guys are gonna see, because when they start sharing the videos, I've never worked in a program that has so many non-scale victories, and that people are just like emotional about it. Like I didn't even know that was a thing. So anyways, um, what else?
Talking about you were talking about in your ear, like we just love your accent. We were just saying, like, beautiful pronunciation was spot on with what you did there, by the way, with the RPE, the rate of perceived exertion. I loved it. Talk to us a little bit about you being in our ear while we're round. Like, what I know we've got like a lot of Scottish people here, as well as and winter's obviously coming in, and people are going to go, oh, I'm not sure, it's going to be cold in October. And what would you say is going to help them to be like, actually, I'm going to give this a go?
You just, I'm not like a pushy person, so I just have to be like, you just have to do it and get out of your own way. Like stop thinking, stop putting yourself in a little box, and just eliminate. And I don't like to say excuses, because sometimes we have legit excuses, but just maybe if it's really cold, at least just try. You're gonna be surprised, because if there's people who love running in the cold, as long as they have the proper attire, you might be able to run it as well. When it comes to the audios, this is a very different experience than the running the videos, the videos on the treadmill. The audios have a lot of motivation. I'm not like breathing heavily when I'm talking to you. So they're very calm and soothe. And they also have a music that is gonna match the intensity that I'm asking. So people at the beginning, they were like, oh, but I wanna listen to my own music. And then they were like, oh, I love it. Like I cannot imagine now running without your voice. In fact, when it was time for people to do the 5K, everybody was begging the company, we want an audio. Like we're used to having Idalis in our ear, and that's not possible. And I did that on purpose. Like I wanted people, like, now you're stronger mentally and physically. Like wanted people to have that experience and go on your own. It's kind of like when you're teaching a baby to ride a bicycle, a kid, like, okay, do it now. And people were just like, it was really, really good when it comes to the reminders and the little things that sometimes we take for granted, or nobody's coaching you. Like, and I don't know about you, but until this day, I usually work out by myself. When I have a friend that she's like, whether she runs better than me, when I was training to film this program, because everything I had to do back to back twice in both languages. So it was really, really hard. Thank God for Energize though. I've never been a fan of Energize that much until I had to film this program. So it was amazing how much I was pushing when she was by my side. Similar to when I was in track and I have a coach. The days that he could not make it, my workouts were never the same. Like they were like believing in me, pushing me, like giving me tough love at times. And this is the difference between this program, like when you don't go and run on your own. Like it's that constant reminder, and like and then people are like, how do you know that I was about to slow down and you're telling me to pick it up? I know, because I've been on the other side. I too, like I was a sprinter, I did heptathlon. I did not enjoy long distance running. That's why I do these kind of workouts that are interval based, to make sure that, okay, I don't have to run that much, but they're still effective and I get all the benefits from running. So I just say, like, just get out there, allow yourself to be coachable, allow yourself to be a beginner, and continue just stepping a little bit out of your comfort zone, because I feel like, especially as we age, we stop doing that. And I don't know about you, but most of my failures in life that have been so much is when I got smarter, I got more wisdom, I got more resilient, and I learned something. And I feel like when we stop like evolving, reinventing ourselves, like life gets really boring. And so this is an opportunity for you guys to do something different and conquer those fears or those I can't.
I love it. That one was for you, Pauline, by the way. She's here. She knows who she is. You've got a question?
Yeah, again, I was just really interested in your background with track and field, and just how do you bring that background, and obviously at such a high level that you were performing at, how do you integrate that into the program in terms of what we're doing?
I think the programming alone, the programming and the cueing, like I literally like everything that I've learned when it comes to lifting. Because when you're an athlete, it's very different training than at home fitness. So you're gonna see once you start exercising with me, like the order of the exercises matter. A lot of people don't know that, but I grew up with coaches who are just, they were the best. They were like, they take people to the Olympics. So obviously to this day, I'm still learning from that. So that is the only difference, like the programming. And then for me, how I was performing, like, I think you're only gonna see me breaking form in the rainy day cardio because it was so hot. Like you guys, that day was hot and the mat was burning. So I had to stop like 3 times and they had to put like water because and then sometimes people are like, oh my God, you look like, I don't like to say that this word, but bad. Like you look like that because you were doing bird cross and things with your face. I'm like, no, it was because my hands were burning. So that's like the only thing. So that was the only day that I think the person who was working with me, he was like, I've never seen you do burpees with a bad form. And I was just like exhausted. So that was the only reason, but you can expect like good form, good cueing, and I do my best to push myself and even in the running one so that I motivate you guys and then you guys can push a little bit hard. However, some people think they need to keep up with me in the test group at the beginning. I'm like, no, no, no. The program is not, you don't have to follow along with me. I move a little bit faster because I'm like hyper and I'm like, I have that background. But this is about, again, there are like every exercise we do for 30 to 40 seconds, usually, depending how difficult they are. So most of the times you should be getting 6 if you're going heavy, 6 to 12 or 15 reps if you're very advanced. So keep that in mind when people ask, oh, but she goes too fast. No, no, no. It's about what you can do. There was something that happened in the sample that I regret. So sadly, the sample, we had to rush everything because it was a really packed production. And I changed the first exercise that we do, the launch sequence. That's actually different than how it is. And it gives I had to keep everything for 5 minutes. So you guys understand. So I wanted to give you guys a little taste of what you can expect. So I was like, I want to show them that we do a lot of single leg work. So I did like forward, lateral, and deadlift. I was going a little bit fast and I'm like, okay, 1 more rep or 2 more reps. But the program is not rep based. It is about what you can do. And in the program, you actually do that for 30 seconds each. 30 seconds and 30 seconds. So again, people don't have, but then I got messages like, oh, I was looking forward, but I'm disappointed because it was going too fast. It's just a little sample. And there were some things that I was trying to get creative to showcase a little bit of what you can expect, but that's not a full workout. It's like 5 minutes from the lower body, 5 minutes from the core, 5 minutes from the upper body. We still didn't have to fit in the upper body and the full body and the metabolic. So keep that in mind, like you go at your own pace.
It's actually a really good point as well. I think a lot of the guys are coming out of MBF and MBFA, which is a tempo to the music type workout, and yours absolutely is not. So it's definitely something that we're gonna, pass on to the coaches and the challengers that are all very excited to come in. So I think that was a really great point, actually.
No, I'm just going to back up.
Yeah, so is there anything else anybody wants to unmute or anything? Because I feel like really privileged that you're here. And
I want to, because sometimes I get rushed by these calls and then people leave questions. So whenever I can, I'm like, oh, I'm all yours until you guys.
Well, listen, we're free at this time, anytime on a Wednesday. If you want to pop in, we'll be here waiting for you.
One other question that people haven't asked: postpartum and pregnancy. This is okay. So we have people in the test group who were expecting. When it comes to pregnancy, that's very individual. So this program is obviously not a prenatal program. However, I ran my 3rd pregnancy, not my other 2, so until I was 7 months, and it helped me feel amazing. It's not like I was sprinting or anything, but I was actually doing interval work. So this is very individual. So people can do the strength training. And if your body is used to running or you're already active, you can certainly just jog a little bit, kind of like go at your own pace. People have done it amazingly. Other people feel like, oh, they don't have the energy. But one thing that I want to tell you guys, if you're expecting, you don't have to do any program to the T. Like you just do, this is about your energy, adding movement, having fun with that. You can just do it whatever. Like pregnancy is not the time to get in the best shape of your life. So keep that in mind. When it comes to modified, there are certain exercises. I hope that all you expecting mama knows about the 2nd trimester and 3rd. you need to modify everything on the plank position because that puts a lot of pressure, and then it can open, you can get diastasis recti, which is that separation in your abdomen, and that causes a lot of issues later on. So whenever you see me doing a core exercise, whether it's a push-up or plank, elevate your hands. So those are the only things that you need to modify. In the program, we do not do a lot of plyos other than in the rainy day cardio. I kept it very low impact because I'm asking you to run some intervals. So there's no need to do so many high impact things. And in my personal workouts, people think that what I post on social are my workouts. They're not my workouts. They're content for people to keep you motivated, to give you. I keep my workouts like the program. I go heavy, I go low impact and very functional. And then I save my body to run, Once in a while, I do some plyo lunges, squat jumps, but I don't even like to do them for more than 30 seconds because I feel everybody breaks form and they're just going to do crappy squats and lunges if you go after more than that. And then postnatal. I'm actually more tough for postnatal when it comes to running. I hope people do not start running right away. I always tell women, at least wait until 4 months so you can do the strength training. You can walk, you can do a lot of cardio, low impact, so you can go with your stroller, use this to do like intervals. That's going to be very beneficial for you mentally, emotionally, and physically. But wait until you actually took the time to rehab your pelvic floor and your core. If not, you're just going to put a lot of, there's consequences to doing too much too soon. So there's like something that people haven't asked me. Program mid-afternoon, what we recommend to do is that. Okay, somebody asked me, if someone is doing the program mid-afternoon, what would you recommend as a suitable snack? So I actually like to exercise mid-afternoon. That's whatever you like. Like I usually do like a banana or a rice cake with peanut butter. Yeah, like anything. I do shakes sometimes. That I actually take my Shakeology as a form of snack instead of like, I don't do meal replacement. So I do always like a little bit of a carb, unless you really want to do that fat loss, then just take some protein and a little bit of fat. That will be my advice. But if you're looking for energy, go for some simple carbs. Okay. Anything else? before we break away from each other. Just break away.
I see what you did there.
Very good, very good.
I think, like, again, just first off, just thank you so much for spending the time with us. It's like massively appreciated. Like, I think that it's been awesome to see like the little video clip of you telling us your story, but to hear from you and like to hear it in your own words is even more important. And I think that like what you've shown today is like just how that gives you perspective over what has actually gone into the programming and how you work with people. And also just that whole background of your sporting background, from your dad being a PE teacher and then coming like all the way through to now you're delivering to millions of people all across the world and like sharing that. And we've got Lorena's going to come on because she's going to say a little something to you in Spanish as well.
Hola Idalis, ¿cómo estás?
Hola Lorena, no te veo.
No, ya te pongo, es que no estoy presentable. Hola. Hola, quería decirte que muchas gracias de parte de todo el Team Livewright. Aquí hay latinas, estamos todas contigo, muchas gracias.
Lo aprecio mucho y qué bueno que tenemos otro programa en español. ¡Yay!
Sí, yeah. Gracias.
Gracias por saludarme. Dios te cuide mucho. Thank you.
Amen.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so cool. Thank you, Lorena.
Yeah, so just again, just a massive thank you from us, and it's just an absolute privilege to have you on and to be able to speak to us. And like, it's just been amazing. You've been like so down to earth. You've explained everything. You've given us so much of your time, so it's very, very appreciated.
It really is.
And we're all like massively looking forward to your program when it comes out. And even myself as one of the non-runners, like I'll be getting out to give that a go.
At least you're gonna like it way more than you do now. That I can promise.
I'm using it as an excuse to just buy new trainers because you said it was okay.
Oh, please get new shoes. The shoes that you get in the closet do not count, and make sure that you do your research when it comes to shoes, because there are a lot of good blogs. I shared something in the Beachbody. There's a lot of information. Sorry, there's a lot of information about how to choose your running shoes. So make sure that you check the Beachbody blog, because I gave a lot of info there. And yeah, and I'm excited for you guys, and I cannot wait to see you guys in the VIP group. I'm going to be going live like almost every day, answering questions. I really want this program to be a great tool for your business and obviously in your personal lives. And as you guys start doing the program, there's always more questions that are going to be needed so that you guys can maximize it. Thank you guys. Have a beautiful night. Have some wine and nice.
We're going to do a wee photo.
We're going to do a little post. If you want to bring your camera out as well, people, and then you'll have your own picture. But we'll also do it like a team one as
Ready?
well.
3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, we took a lot.
We took a lot.
Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.